Hi, I am trying to get help with degenerative disc disease. I watched one of your segment on it and I am ready to order it. All the detox and the bitters, the whole thing for me to get this dis-ease corrected. Whatsoever it is, I need my information. This is blase blase. She said her name. I've been emailing. We actually hired more customer service. So y'all emails should be getting answered very quickly, y'all. Orders at YahkiAwaken.com about y'all orders. We've been getting them orders out too, y'all. We've been working super hard and I've been hiring a lot of people. So emails, y'all should be getting a lot of replies now from y'all emails. Y'all should be getting phone calls now. The phone lines will be open starting Monday. And also, like, we done sped up downstairs in the warehouse, y'all. We knocking packages out left and right. So y'all shouldn't even have no problem like that no more. All right. It says, because I don't have answers and I need to drive for a living. So you're a driver. I drive for a living and it says I miss some and heard some, but I need it all. So she's saying basically she have degenerative disc disease, which we call spondylosis. And she's saying that she heard a segment on me talking about it, but she was driving in her truck, so she really couldn't hear it. So she wanted me to re-explain what degenerative disc disease is. So when you get to spondylosis, or what they call degenerative disc disease, it's basically nothing but the aging of your spine. So degenerative disc these are vertebrae, right? So this is a spinal column. And inside of the spinal column, you have 33 vertebrae. But between each vertebrae, you have something called a disc. And this is what this disc look like. It's like a spongy like substance that sit between the bones of what you call the vertebrae. And what it's used for is used for shock absorption. So say if I'm jumping or if I'm walking, the span do this. So this vertebrae is elastic and you have something inside of it called nucleus pulposus. And this nucleus pulp is basically fluid that sits inside of there. And guess what this fluid is made out of? H3O. And guess what helped make this fluid or keep this fluid hydrated? H3O2, which come from your fruits. You think I'm lying? Look it up. It's going to blow your mind. So what degenerative disc disease is when dehydration sets in, or the telomeres, which is these chromosome caps that sits on the caps of your chromosomes that holds and wraps your DNA. These caps they basically start fading and wearing and tearing off. And when they fade and wear and tear off, it speeds up your aging process. Now, during the speeding up of your aging process, dehydration sets in and you start drying out that liquid, the actual nucleus that I was talking about that's inside of this disc. When this disc get dried out, it causes the vertebrae to pinch each other. Now I want to show you how this is, and this is how you get a bulging disc. Y'all see that bulge that just happened? So the disc just dried out. All of the H3O, the H3O2 then dried out of the disc. Now all of a sudden the bone starts to weld itself to the other vertebrae, and now it's pinching the disc. So now you got a bulging disc. Now eventually this bulge will pop, and now you got a leaky disc because the jelly-like substance or the structured water that we call H3O2 that's inside of the disc starts to leak. So now the bone starts to pinch. Now sometimes you even have a different problem where the disc actually deteriorates and the bones pinch, and then it pinches against this nerve here, and then you have all types of nerve problems. But we talking about deterioration. The only thing that causes deterioration of any cells is, guess what, family? It's the acid family. So whenever you see deterioration, chronic diseases, things that are burning and things that things that are being dehydrated, you're dealing with acids. Just like with alcohol, the more alcohol, which is very acidic fermented sugars, the more you drink, the more dehydrated your body is, because you're dealing with an acid. You're dealing with a cationic environment. The same thing that happens with any cell in your body. When the cell is introduced to acids, it starts burning or evaporating the actual liquids, or what we're going to call H3O, water constituents, out of the cells. There's no difference. These vertebrae are made of cells. Just because they are hard substance and we call them bones don't mean that they're not made of cells. They're made of bone cells. This disc is made of fibrous collagen cells. Now the thing about it is, it's hard for us to actually get blood flow into these cells because these cells do not have blood flow. So the only thing you can do is hydrate them because they don't get blood. The only way to open these up is by stretching. You see that? Hydrating the body, because blood is not a source here. So it ain't like we can get any phytonutrients back here to actually build up the cartilage, but you can get that elasticity back to these things by stretching, by decompressing the back, by doing diaphragmatic breathing and hydrating the body. Now, what you're going to have to do is you got to get rid of the acidosis. You can get rid of the problem. You can get rid of the problem by getting rid of the acids. How do you get rid of the acids? You have to go after the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is the sewage system of the body. All right. Now, we talking about your back. Usually we talking about the lower back or the lower lumbar. So you need to go after them kidneys, and you need to go after the adrenals. So what I would do is, if I was you, all right, if I was you, if you were Yahki would go on an all-fruit diet. Yahki would drink at least 32 ounces of fruit juices, at least 32 ounces of fruit juices a day. While I'm on them fruit juices, I will go to YahkiAwaken.com and I will get the kidney and adrenal kit, because the kidney and adrenal kit is going to open up the kidneys for lymphatic filtration. It's going to put the adrenal glands back online. The adrenal glands are in control of the autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. This will help drive hydration to the body. And also, I will go after the thyroid and the parathyroid, because the thyroid and the parathyroid is actually in control of collagen, cartilage, and of connective tissue. So if you go after the parathyroid and you go after the calcitonin, you go after the T4s and the T3 cells, you can actually get a lot of that cartilage rebuilt. But the whole thing is, what I mean by rebuilt, I mean by repair. I have never seen an actual disc fully rebirth itself. I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm pretty sure it can, because we grow back organs all the time. I just never seen it personally, but I know for a fact we can get that pain away, and we can see some regeneration, some type of regeneration go there. And the only way you can do that is through hydration and stretching, diaphragmatic breathing, and hydrating, and getting the acids out of the body. The only way the acids going to leave the body is through the lymphatic system, or you do got 4 channels of elimination. The first channel of elimination is your digestive organs. You can poop these things out. The second one is actually you urinating. So you got elimination through defecation. You got urination. You got respiration. You can breathe these things out through exhaling. You got another one which is called perspiration, through sweating, because we know that your skin is your biggest kidney. So make sure you go into the sauna, getting that sauna. Make sure you sweating, because your skin is your 3rd kidney on your body. So these are all different tips and things that you can do to get the acids out of your body. But if you really want to get the acids out of your body quick, you're gonna have to go after the lymphatic system. Seriously. And when you looking at the lymphatic system, you have 4 parts of the lymphatic system. We'll talk about that in a lymphatic class that I'm going to be doing Friday. But you have the actual neurolymphatic system, which is what they call the glymphatic system in your brain. Then you have the cervical lymphatic system. These are cervical lymph nodes and cervical lymphatic vessels that's around your throat area. Then you have the axillary lymphatic system, or what you call the axillary veins or vessels. That's under your armpits and your breast and in your chest. You see that? Then you got the GALT, or the GOAT, which stands for the actual digestional associated lymphatic tissue. That's all inside of your stomach area. Then last but not least, you have your genital lymphatic, or what they call the Peyer's patches. And that's everything from your penis or your vagina canal all the way down to your lower extremities. If you can open up that lymphatic system and get that lymphatic system moving, like with grapes, seeded grapes are very, very good to get the lymphatic system. But I've been hearing that y'all can't find seeded grapes nowhere. I can find seeded grapes in St. Louis, Missouri all year round. So I never really have a problem finding seeded grapes. But the skin of the seeded grapes have something called tannins in them. And tannins actually thins your blood, and it thins out the interstitial fluid of your body, or what you call lymphatic fluid. And that will help get some movement of the lymphatic system going again. Again, you have something called the sternocleidomastoid. And this is a big lymphatic connective duct that sits right on your sternum on the diaphragmatic muscle. So if you start doing some very, very deep diaphragmatic breaths, that'll actually move that duct and start opening up lymphatic fluid to start moving too. You see that? Then you have lymphatic massages, where you can find neurolymphatic points up and down your spinal cord, and you can start literally massaging them clockwise, and that'll open up and stimulate the lymphatic system by way of something called acetylcholine or acetylcholinesterase. And this is all stimulated from the autonomic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system, or what we're going to call the adrenal glands. We have to understand that the adrenal glands actually act as a pump to a cleaner, to a filtration system, kind of like on a fish tank. And then when you look at the actual tank itself, or the filter that cleanses the tank, that's the kidneys. Well, notice that the pump is connected to a cord, and that cord have to be plugged into the wall to get some conductivity or get some electricity to turn the filtration system on. That is literally what the adrenals is. It's the pump to the filtration system that we call this kidneys. So if your adrenal glands is offline and they're not being stimulated and they're not getting a lot of energetics, or what we're going to call electricity or electrolytes to them, or potassium K chains to them, then you're not going to have any stimulants to actually kick on the kidneys to filtrate the lymph out of the body through urea, through urination, and through defecation and stuff like that. And now you stagnate, and things like this happen because you got a bunch of acids that just localize and sitting in the area, deteriorating and chewing gnarly chemistry of the tissue. So of course it's going to eat through it. Acids can eat through anything if it sit on it long enough. And then once all of the oxygen is deprived of the cells, they call this cancer. Soon as 66% of the oxygen be deprived of the cells, then they're going to say you have spinal cancer. You have degenerative disc cancer. Let it be in your lungs. You have lung cancer. Let it be in your milk duct. We see that 66% of the oxygen is gone. You have breast cancer, triple negative at that. Let it be on the thyroid. You have nodule thyroid cancer. But what we're talking about is acidosis, acids robbing the body of oxygen, and then that oxygen being robbed of the cells or being deprived from the cells actually bring on a mucosal response. So now you got mucus, you got acids, and then you have the thyroid calcitonin, the parathyroid getting tripped because calcium is one of the most electrolytes in the body. It's a buffering system to acids. That's what neutralizes acids is calcium. So now you got calcium, acids, and mucus in one area. Sounds like crystallization and calcification to me. So now you're getting stiff, hard, and things are starting to be dried out because the calcilization and the crystallization is literally drying out the H3O jelly structure water. That's how you get degenerative disc disease. So the whole thing is to combat the issue and to reverse the problem, you have to undo what you've been doing that got you into the problem. See, everything dealing with disease is cause and effect, family. What you put in your body has an effect on your body. What you don't put in your body has an effect on your body. If what you've been putting in your body is causing dehydration to any part of the cells of the body, then stop putting them things in your body and put more things in your body that hydrates the body. And you will notice that all of these issues start to go away slowly. So that, again, the kidney and adrenal kit from off the website, all fruit diet. If you can find some grapes, get on a grape fast. It's not watermelon season here, so I ain't gonna even recommend watermelons. I really would, but one of your next most hydrating foods other than coconuts is other than cucumbers is your coconut. So find your cucumbers, find your coconuts, find some coconut water, get on that, and make sure that you cucumbering it up because cucumbers is 99% water. Y'all look it up. All right, if y'all got any questions, yes, just like a cyst, elements of calming, just like that's how cysts are forms. Cysts are nothing but pockets of tissues. That's all it is. Cyst is nothing but a pocket of tissue. If you bust a cyst, notice what's in there. You're going to find a few calcification or calcium buildup. Then you're going to find about 10% blood, and you're going to see a lot of mucus and pus. That's showing you that that's lymphatic system being backed up. But what happens is your body is so smart because your body is a biological god, y'all. All religions come from the human anatomy. All religions come from the body. Everything is always talking about the temple of man because you are wonderfully made. You are a chosen generation, a peculiar people made after the very expression and image of the most highest power. So your body holds everything in it, as above, so below, as within, so without. You see that? When you travel and go inner space and you start to understand what the Egyptians and ancient Kemets was doing, what the ancient Mayans was doing, what the Aztecs was doing, what Lemuria and Sumeria was doing, what the Anunnaki gods was doing, they were actually showing different eternal organs of your brain and of your body, and they started worshiping them because they knew how important it was, and they knew that it was an express image of God himself. So all religions come from your black anatomy, whether you want to admit it or not, or whether you want to research it or not. Religion wouldn't exist if it wasn't for you, God body, if it wasn't for you, earth. That's where religion come from. You, how magnificently you were created and made, your insides, your melanin content, how your biochemical makeup and structure is different from every other species and race on planet Earth. That's how special and peculiar of a people you are. You created all religions based off of you. Yes, Horus, the all-seeing eye. That's the third eye. You start talking about the God Patu. That's talking about the pituitary gland. You're talking about the the hippocampus. That's talking about the ram's horn or the golden calf that Israel made when Moshe went upon the mountain and got the 10 commandments from Yahweh. All these are representations, Shiva, and how it's talking about the elephants. That's the hippocampus turned upside down. You see what I'm saying? Once you get into all these different things, Atum, Atum, all this is talking about you. It's talking about you, family. But yes, the kidney and adrenal kit. Kidney and adrenal kit, all fruit diet. Get on some cucumbers, get on some melons, and you will see that this issue will go away.